Welcome to Inside Richmond, the official podcast of Richmond Rugby Club. Today it's my pleasure to welcome back to the show Club Chairman John Heaton. John, great to have you here. How are you?
Good afternoon, Tom. I'm well. Seemed a long time since we last spoke like this.
Yeah.
But it's been a very busy few months, to be honest.
It has indeed. Very busy is a good way to put it. It's been months and months of discussions, but we have finally confirmed that we're playing in the upcoming Greene King IPA Championship season, due to start on March the 6th. John, can you please explain the full set of events that led to this decision for us and why you believe it's the correct thing for us to do?
Yeah, well, it's been a long process. We knew that the season was due to start on the 6th of March for some time. And we'd had a number of discussions about whether we were going to participate or not. We were very uncertain about the testing regime, the costs of that, and how Richmond as a part-time club, if I can put it that way, would fit into that. And so we've been looking at it for a long time. There was then the announcement of the government help to championship clubs, and a number of clubs made an application for funding. I think somewhat disappointingly from our point of view, and I guess from all the clubs' point of view, was that the only financial assistance was in the form of a loan. So that would mean really borrowing money for a short-term revenue expenditure, and then you'd have to pay it over a number of years. And I think certainly initially the conditions attached to that were not something that we would have wanted to do. And so we had to face the fact that playing in the championship was going to cost us money. Now, on the other side of the coin, we had signed a participation agreement with the RFU. We'd said that we would play in the championship, and we had been paid part of the money for doing that. And there is some more to come. It doesn't go anywhere near to covering the costs. But I think we, after a lot of consideration, felt that it was something that we wanted to do and that we should do. We also had to have regard to the outside world, the things that were happening at the time. But it does look now as though the pressure on the NHS is reducing, and obviously with the vaccines coming in, we hope that, I personally hope, but I'm always an optimist, that we might even see crowds towards the end of the season. So we decided we would take part. I think the other thing that we had to consider was just how many other clubs would be in. We didn't want to be sort of make weight to the professional clubs that were in there, Saracens, Doncaster, Cornish Pirates. But we did want to participate if there was a decent spread. And of course, as we now know, 11 clubs have agreed to participate, and just London Scottish have dropped out for reasons which we understand.
Yeah, you mentioned the financial strain and obviously the impact of COVID on the club over the last 12 months, and the extra cost of playing this season will no doubt result in a financial loss for our club. But can you sort of touch on some of the ways Richmond will be looking to gain extra revenue during the season ahead? The player sponsorship, match streaming, and the auction of the first team shirts following the season, and a potential club-wide raffle?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned the shirts, of course, we had a fundraising crowdfunding exercise earlier on this year. We raised over £30,000, and as part of that, because we haven't got a main sponsor, we thought it right to celebrate the NHS on the new club shirts. So we will play in those just for 10 matches, and then we're going to auction those off at the end of the season, and hopefully bring in some much needed revenue to the club. We've always had a club raffle, haven't had one this year, partly because of COVID, but that's something that we want to do at the end of the year as well. We have already underway is player sponsorship. And the last time I looked at the list, in fact, it was the first time I looked at the list, nearly every player had gone. So that looks to have been very successful. But there will no doubt be other things. As you mentioned, also streaming. We anticipate that every match will be streamed. We're not quite sure what the format will be, and we are talking to the RFU about their ideas and our ideas, how we might best do that. But all the clubs are doing the same thing. So our matches will be streamed, whether they're home or away. So fortunately, all our spectators, all our members and sponsors will get to see the matches.
Yeah, that is really fantastic news. And as John said, we will keep you updated with the streaming details when they do come to light. John, you mentioned the members, the season ticket holders, the sponsors. What is your message to everyone who has stuck by us through everything over the last 12 months? Literally every penny does count at the moment. What is your message to those people who continue to support us?
Well, we're obviously extremely grateful. Last season ended in March, and we've had no rugby since then, a little bit of touch rugby at the start of the season. But I was absolutely delighted, and you know, it was a great surprise at the number of members that renewed without question. We've had members coming in since then, and they've all stuck by us. Our sponsors have stuck by us, and hopefully now they will see the benefits of our matches being streamed, sponsors being mentioned to a wider customer base, and obviously, you know, without them, the club just couldn't go forward. Definitely.
John, the fixture list, which was announced earlier this week, we kick off with an away trip to Hartbury. We then have 3 home matches against Cornish Pirates, Jersey, and then Saracens. We then have a bye before embarking on our next 6 fixtures. What are your thoughts on the fixture list? 6 home matches, 4 away trips?
Yes, well, the 6th is due to the situation in Jersey, where travelling into Jersey for sports clubs was very difficult. Now, Jersey did try to arrange for their home matches to be at the end of the season and the away matches to start off with, but that the RFU just couldn't accommodate that. So we had a discussion with Jersey, and we agreed that the match that we were due to play there would in fact be played at Richmond, and we've made a contribution to their travel costs because it would have cost us to have to go over there. And I think we're both happy that we've reached a settlement on that.
Absolutely.
But as far as the other fixtures are concerned, well, I think the one that everybody's looking forward to is Saracens, the 3rd match of the season. That I think is the first Saturday when all their internationals will be available, and I know that the players are very excited, I think, put it that way, to be playing against Saracens, and I think they'll all be desperate to play. I might just mention, we talked about the process of playing. We did in fact have a discussion with the players about whether they wanted to participate, and I guess I wasn't surprised, and I don't think anybody else would be surprised to find that the vast majority wanted to play. And in fact, the real concerns were about whether the club could afford it. And they understand that we're a community rugby club, and that they want to know that we'll be here for the next generation to play, as it were.
Yeah, you mentioned the players. We have an excellent squad of players raring to go. How pleased are you for these guys. They've been training since July last year, and they finally get an opportunity to pull on that Richmond shirt again and play some rugby.
Yeah, well, they've been fantastic. They've turned up week after week, 3 times a week in some appalling weather, and some of them come from huge distances. It's amazing to me that people are prepared to travel so far for let's face it, very little reward. And I'm very excited by the squad. I probably can't say at the minute who's in it, because I think Steve wants to make the announcement on Monday. But it has, on paper, it looks to be the strongest squad that we've had for some years.
Yep. And as you mentioned, we will announce the squad next week on Monday, announcing the 38-player squad, which is selected for the first team. And obviously that is a reduced number that we can select from due to COVID. It's not our normal wide performance group, which is a shame, but it has to be that way. John, away from the rugby pitch, we continue to do some incredible work throughout the community. And I think that's really highlighted what our club is all about over the last 12 months. How proud are you of everything that Dom and his team of community volunteers continue to do during these challenging times?
Well, they've done an amazing job, and I think the amount of praise that they have just justifies what they're all about. They have delivered school meals to poor kids in Richmond. We've had their latest venture is to collect laptops to make sure that children who can't afford access throughout the borough have a laptop and can have Zoom calls or whatever method of teaching it is. But they're not disadvantaged, because poor kids who've been locked at home for so long without any schooling, potentially are at a great disadvantage. And I'm for one, I'm very proud of the work that they do, standing out there in the cold and the wet, waiting for people to drop laptops off on a Saturday morning.
Definitely. And just an update on that directly from Dom. So the tech collection point on Saturdays will no longer take place. This is due to the high demand. So we'll now have a tech collection Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the club. So if you have any secondhand devices, laptops or tablets, you are more than welcome just to bring them along to the Richmond Athletic Ground, go to the main reception and just drop off your tech there. And we will continue to work with Veritas Digital Services to make sure they're refurbed and updated before we continue to donate to local schools. And yes, we've received more than 800 donations so far, delivered to 26 local schools, 2 essential services. So just an extraordinary effort from Dom and his team. So well done.
Yeah.
John, just before we go, what is your final word to the Richmond community ahead of what should be an exciting season, albeit behind closed doors for the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the saddest part, that it is behind closed doors. And I think the one message that I guess I've been asked by the RFU to get out to our members is that I know you want to watch the matches, but please don't come. We will be under strict lockdown, and it's very difficult for us, but please watch the matches on the stream and support Richmond.
Fantastic stuff. John, thank you so much for your time. Just before we go, this is on behalf of all the everyone at Richmond, to our club sponsors who have stuck by us during this dreadful sort of COVID situation. Their logos and website links will appear on your screens now. Please do show them the same support as they continue to provide our club by visiting their website and taking advantage of their great services. So a big thank you again to everyone. John, thank you again for your time and for your detailed club update. As mentioned, we're very excited about the upcoming season. We will announce further information on the squad, player sponsorship, match streaming details over the next week or so. And a reminder, you can find all the confirmed fixtures, the latest club news on our website. That's www.richmondfc.co.uk. And make sure you download the Pitcheroo Club app, which you can find on the App Store and Google Play. It will be below this video on YouTube as well. John, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for watching Inside Richmond, the official vodcast of Richmond Rugby Club. Thanks, guys.